All right, people. So let's talk about this. So late last night, of course, my mini me's come to me. Hey, Pop, you want to go to the buffet tonight? No problem. Let's go. Go out to the buffet. We eat, and of course, we have a great time. Spending quality time, relaxing. We come home, and nobody's talking about boxing at this point. That restaurant, us, nobody. We come back home, and it's late, and it was one of these, you know, you can't sleep type moments. So me and one of my sons were sitting here, going back with the reps with the dumbbells, getting a little workout in, right? And so at this point, we just can't sleep. We're not trying to sleep, we're just not sleepy. So all of a sudden, it's getting later and later. I said, damn, it doesn't even feel like it. It was like 3 something in the morning or whatever the hell, 3 or 4 in the morning. So I said, okay, cool. And all of a sudden, my son had his phone propped up and he was watching something, had something on YouTube playing. So we Chromecast into the TV. And then all of a sudden, of course, you see the thumbnail for the highlights of the Anthony Joshua Jake Paul fight. And I'm just sitting here like, and then my son goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that. He said, Pop, you want to watch it? Right? Whatever. So he watched the highlights. I said, you want to watch? I said, you want to watch the highlights or you want to watch the fight itself? And first he said, well, I don't really want to watch the highlights because then we're going to know who won without seeing the whole fight. He said, I don't even really care to see the whole fight, actually. Now, here's the funny thing. I didn't either. Didn't care for the fight, period. But we get to the point we go, you know what? All right, cool, whatever. So we throw Netflix up there. I said, I don't even care about the whole card. And neither did he. So this is what happens. We watch the Anthony Joshua fight first. The only other fight that I watched, I didn't watch anything other. Was what other 2 fights was the Baumgartner fight, and I watched the Carolina Dubois fight. Okay. So let me begin. I only want to talk about 2 fights, but I'm going to tell you what I noticed. And I know that that's the only thing my son, had interest in just seeing it. And even after, it was just like, wow. Now, everybody wanted to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped. Both of my sons were here. We both watched, But here's the funny thing, okay? I want you to pay attention to this, guys. When I say to you, Netflix only cares about a spectacle or what they consider a spectacle, okay, of a fight. Not the whole card, the main event, though. The mindset that these people have is that one fight where it doesn't matter what the rest of the card looks like, just the simple fact that we got this particular main event that's a mega fight. See, that's what they want to label everything. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh even said the same thing. Remember that. When you have a fight so massive like having Canelo versus Crawford, the undercard doesn't even matter. You don't even need an undercard. Remember, he said that. Turki Al-Sheikh said that. This is the mindset of these people. All they care about is money. Okay. Now, Turki was putting cards together. He was trying to give you nothing but quality fights, every fight, no filler fights. But at the same time, like I said, through time, people look at what's happening, things change. Nothing stays the same for better or worse. Now, one of the things I want to say is Netflix, people will say, yeah, it's great because it puts more eyes on the sport. You know, it goes around to more homes and more people. They don't care about the fight card. They care about the main event. Okay? When it gets to the point, all right, we need to get in and sit down, and trust me, because all these people out here on the red carpet, they're trying to promote their books, their movies, whatever TV show they're going to be on, talk show, got a podcast, whatever. That's what they do. So if you think about it, a lot of times when you're watching video clips of somebody that you may know as an actor or actress or whatever, but you don't realize this was all at that fight. This was at that particular event. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, this is what they do. It's all about business. That's all it's about. I got a lot to say, y'all. Well, let me tell you what I noticed. It was the same exact thing as watching boxing when it was on HBO and any other fucking network. The building is half empty. Half empty during the majority of the show. So what you call the prelims, that's a disservice to those fighters. The people that's in there already are more than likely, maybe they don't want to have a problem with waiting in line to get to their seat, or they're really fight fans. So here's what happens, right? Or their relatives or friends of, were invited by those particular people or whatever. Or hey, I paid for the whole show. I want to see the whole show. Okay. I noticed when Caroline Dubois fought, the building was more than half empty when she fought. Now, here's a champion in the division. Now, her opponent was a tougher opponent than Baumgartner's opponent. Put up a better fight. Was just a better fighter. Caroline Dubois gets the win in front of a more than half empty building. Now, Alicia Baumgartner, she won the fight. Alicia Baumgartner pretty much just outclassed the chick. I think the chick won like 2-3 rounds maybe out of the whole 12. And that may be another reason why it probably won't be the next fight. An excuse. She is not a big enough draw. Caroline, nobody knows Caroline Dubois like that in the States. Oh, and yeah, they will throw that in their face. Okay? Every boxer that says, I'm the best, I want to fight nothing but the best, and then ends up fighting someone like that. Well, can you say, wait, let's look at the hypocrisy. How can you say, she's already said Caroline Dubois has done nothing way before last night. Okay? How can you say that about Caroline Dubois? What the opponent you fought last night, what did she accomplish? And to say Caroline Dubois is not a draw, okay, well, in the States, but let's just say, bottom line, well, even the fighter, the opponent that Caroline Dubois fought, did you know her? And what did she accomplish? Did you know Alicia Baumgartner's opponent before last night? Because I've never heard of either one of these chicks. And so what I do when I don't know who a fighter is, I'll type in their name, I'll pull up their fights, and I'll watch their most recent fights to see what they look like. Caroline Dubois' opponent, let's just put it like this. They both had opponents that's not popular. Caroline Dubois' opponent was better than Baumgartner's opponent. She's just a better fighter. And basically, she tried, but she got outclassed. She pretty much got beat. Alicia Baumgartner, okay, but Caroline Dubois is not focused. She's not, hey, we want to make her our next star. No. The person that they're trying to push for that right now is Alicia Baumgartner. So Baumgartner's opponent, when I watched her as well, I said, I already did a video about both of them fighting each other, okay, Dubois and Baumgartner. But when I'm watching her opponent, I said, yeah, this chick is so basic, not the fastest fighter. She leads, when she throws punches, she opens up. Even when she jabs, she opens up. She has a tendency to jab and pull his hand back, and she's opened up. She's straight up. She no real no footwork. Don't know how to move her head off the center line. Very, very, not just basic, but basic, very novice-like. Okay. And I said, this person was put in here for the same reason Baumgartner's last opponent was put in there with her. So she could shine. And pretty much Baumgartner did much better in this fight than she did in her last fight. Okay. Basically, her opponent was trying to play stalker, for the most part, and she starts getting broken down. I could clearly see what was happening. She's getting broken down. Now she's starting to get on the back foot. She had no answers. She couldn't deal with Baumgartner's speed. She's getting hit constantly with that damn lead slapping left hook. She couldn't get away from anything. And basically, you can see she just didn't have the experience. She didn't have the IQ. She basically was, it's like, let's take this big fish, this big guppy, and put him in there with a piranha. That's pretty much what this was. Now, the one thing Alicia Baumgartner does, and this is where this can come back to haunt her as well. She doesn't have a killer instinct, man. She's a negotiator. Like, she will try to jump on you and throw combinations, but if you just slip and move and step back, she won't keep the pressure coming. She'll stop and, okay, let me get back to boxing. Right now, that can be a safe mode, but then she falls asleep and she starts getting hit with shots that she shouldn't get hit with. And against somebody that can crack, she can go night-night. And she does this often. She just falls asleep in certain rounds where she's just there to be hit. I noticed something though. I'm exposed. I'm just being real. And I'm exposing some shit. I noticed when they asked her at the end of the fight, this is Baumgartner, about fighting Caroline Dubois, and she goes, Caroline, she claims she wants to fight me. Better come up and get these 12 rounds, these 3-minute 12 rounds, right? And then when they asked Alicia Baumgartner about it, she goes, I fucking love it, and this and that. And wait. You see how people try to completely erase what they've said and done? What am I talking about? Let's bring it back. And we can pull up receipts. I'm not into the receipt shit no more. Fuck it. If people don't know, then go do your own homework, because, I'm not a bullshitter. Amanda Serrano, remember when she was asked about fighting Baumgartner? This was just last year. What did Amanda Serrano say? She said, on one condition, it's 12 3-minute rounds. Do you guys remember what Alicia Baumgartner responded with? I'll tell you. Alicia Baumgartner said, nobody wants to see women fight for 12 3-minute rounds. I mean, women's boxing it's not going to get that type of attention with that. Trust me, I know nobody wants to see that. And besides, are you paying me for these 12 rounds? Are we getting paid extra? Remember that? Now all of a sudden she fucking loves it, and Caroline Dubois better come up and get these 12 3-minute rounds if she really want this. Wait. Caroline Dubois never made a problem about 12 3-minute rounds. You did. Now all of a sudden you're saying it as if it's a stipulation she's been ducking. See, this is the way people say things a certain way. You know how you can tell a person a joke, right? But the way you say it, you throw them off, and they overlook how simple it is. Let me give you an example. They ask a person, there's a graveyard in Albuquerque, right? The graveyard is 75,000 feet wide. It's 88,000 feet long. About how many dead people do you think are in that graveyard? What's the first thing the person do that you start, when you ask them that question, what's the first thing they start doing? Can't cheat and use a calculator, right? So they have to try to, and they always come up with a number, right? They always come up with a number. And they're always wrong. You want to know why? All of them are dead. But it's the way you ask the question. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it makes them start trying to add up. That's exactly the type of psychology that you see going on in professional boxing. I'm the one who didn't want to go 12 3-minute rounds. I'm the one who said, are you going to pay me for those rounds? And I'm the one who said, nobody wants to see women fight for that. Oh, this is all Alicia Baumgartner said. Now all of a sudden she fucking loves it. Oh, we're going to give you this opponent that ain't worth a shit, so we can see if you can do 12 3-minute rounds. That's all that was. Okay, so now that you know you can do it, is Caroline Dubois going to be next? You both won your fight. And if she's not next, and they go throw some guppy to her, what's the point? Let me explain something to you guys. This is where their heads are. These fighters don't care about legacy. And I get it, and I'm not really going to fault them for that. But there's something that comes with that. AJ even said last night he doesn't care about legacy. And truthfully, I get it. I don't really disagree with it. But here's the but AJ has a track record that shows he's done nothing but fought the best. Okay? And I do understand, like I said, nothing stays the same forever. If the landscape of boxing changes, the fighters are going to change as well. Because it changes because of what? Because of the thoughts, the ideas, and the behaviors of people. Okay? That's involved. Here's where these people are. Okay? I don't care if you say I'm ducking a fighter. I don't care if you don't like the things I say and do. I'm rich, you're broke, you're watching me. They're trying to position these fighters, MVP, in the position of you're the draw. So it doesn't matter who you're fighting, what you're fighting. Okay? People are coming to see you. You're the draw. So now when our backs are pushed against the wall to where we have to fight a quality opponent, win, lose, or draw, you're all promoted through MVP. So we still win. And then that fighter that lose, we'll bring them back with a meatball of an opponent to keep them relevant. But we're going to try to keep you guys away from each other as best as we possibly can. They want to position themselves up to be in line to make the most money possible. So here's the deal. Let's say, for example, a fighter retires and you say, man, you had 35 fights. And out of 35 fights, you only fought 2 real quality opponents. That person's going to look like, yeah, but I'm rich. You're broke. Don't worry about my life. Worry about you. See, your opinion only matters when you agree with what I'm saying. Why can't you have an opinion without being a hater? Especially when you have intelligence and you can explain yourself as to why you see a person a certain way, as opposed to just talking trash about them and calling in, taking shots just because. Now, here's what happens when a person becomes a habitual liar, when a person is not honest and you know it and they're full of shit and you like, you know, I'm sick of this, but you're still pointing out the things that this person says and does. Everybody see it, everybody hear it. See, the problem when you get to that point where you don't care about legacy, it's 2 ways to look at that. Do you care about legacy for yourself? Because this is me. I put this body of work in. This is my payoff. So at the end, when I sit back and look at my career, I'm that much proud of what I've done. Or are you saying you're worried about how people are going to see your legacy? Michael Jordan said, I don't think nobody wants to go to their grave forgotten. And I always say, who gives a fuck? And why I say I agree is because of this reason. AJ said something that I agree with. Like he said, 50 years from now, nobody's going to care and this and that and whatever, right? So in terms of your legacy, people are going to talk and compare. See, I never cared about that. I don't give a shit about legacy as far as trying to make you and everybody else see me as the greatest of this and no. I fought everybody they put in front of me. Now, you're fortunate that you beat all of them, cool. People still going to try to find a way to say you're not the best. If you won and lost, but guess what, man? You can say, hey, I beat some of the best people out there. So even though we shared fights, he beat me, I beat him, or whatever, right? Bottom line, I'm still an all-time great. Do you really care about that overall? Because we can look at a whole lot of people that's called all-time greats that you'll go, oh, I forgot about him. Oh, they never talk about this person. Oh, damn, I don't even know who that is. Oh, I heard of him, but I never seen him fight. Oh, so do you really care about it because of people? You're going to go to your grave, and you will be forgotten one day. I don't care that we have YouTube and all other kind of video channels that somebody can always pull you up and watch what you've done. So what? When you die, the people of your generation die with you, because you guys get old, and it's called life. And the next generation of people come in. Who cares about what you did? People make money off of your death and give your family nothing. So when we're talking about legacy, see, I get what AJ's saying, and I agree with that. But to the flip side is there's a lot of fighters who didn't accomplish what AJ has accomplished, who didn't lay down a solid body of work, but they are trying to duck whatever smoke they can because, hey, you're talented. You can dominate the people in this division. There are a few people that can test you, but we'll keep you away from them. And you talk your shit, but the fight's never going to happen. And when it gets to the point, if and when it gets to that point, then we'll take advantage of it. And hopefully you get the win. Because the truth is, real fighters want to fight real fighters. This is why you notice in this generation, people act as if nobody's on their fucking level. Do you understand? So when another top fighter calls you out, you get offended. He ain't on my level. He ain't this and that. Now, let's even go back to Shannon Briggs saying, Ike Ibeabuchi's a bum. I'll knock him out. Wait. So you're getting ready to fight Rampage Jackson. Y'all been trying to make this sorry-ass fight for the past 5-6 years. Now, finally, it's supposed to happen. Rampage isn't the boxer either. Now, how could you stand back and try to talk some shit about Floyd fighting Conor for $300 million? And when he fought him, he had no belts. He wasn't holding the division up. This was just a spectacle and a money grab. Simple. Why would you not want to fight Ike Ibeabuchi, Shannon Briggs? Why would you choose to fight Rampage over another fellow boxer? Ike Ibeabuchi would knock Rampage Jackson out clean. But you choose to fight Rampage. Why are you not telling the world you'll knock him out, Rampage out? It's an insult for him to even bring your name up. Why? Because you know you have an easier chance of beating him than you do Ike Ibeabuchi. Not that Ike Ibeabuchi was ever in the picture, but the point is when his name did come up, you tried to dismiss it like he's trash. And he's someone from your era as well. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Let's go where the money is. Let's go or where we think the money is or where the easier competition is. Well, if I'll get around the same money to fight Ike Ibeabuchi, when I can get that same money fighting a much easier target, hell, I'm going to take the easier target. That's what you see happening. Okay. There's no reason for Alicia Baumgardner and Caroline Dubois to not be in the next fight. It's just no reason. And what happens when a person don't want the fight, the person calling them out, they hope that they lose. So they'll talk shit, but they won't fight them. Okay? They both won. And what I see in Caroline Dubois, like I said, she has more of a mean streak. If she will push for the fight, she will get into a dogfight if she has to, quicker than Alicia will. Now, that can work against you and it can work for you. It just depends on how you implement it in the ring. Caroline Dubois looks more comfortable at close quarters. She looks more comfortable with making it a dogfight than Alicia does. Like I said, Alicia has better footwork. She moves better. She's known to throw one punch at a time off of her movement, and she loves to throw that sweeping hook. Dubois has the style to counter her and hurt her. But at the same time, they both can punch. They both have fast hands. And pretty much, It's a fight that should happen. Whenever Alicia Baumgartner says she wants this, she wants that, she wants this, right? Or at least wants to think that. The point is, it's coming out of her mouth. One of the biggest difference makers between the two of them can actually be that Caroline really wants this fight and Alicia doesn't. It's like, oh, well, if they make it happen, then fuck it, then I'll fight her. But I don't really care for the fight. I don't really want the fight. You don't hear her saying that. Her ego is making her talk like she's way above her. Did you hear that barely lukewarm applaud that she got? Come on, guys, let's give it up for Alicia Baumgartner. Look at how dead that was. Here's an American fighter in America, black. What is she doing? She's barely even getting an applause. They're trying to make her to be this next female superstar. Well, here's the deal. Your resume doesn't matter if it's weak to you as long as you're making the type of money you want. But at the same time, for the people that's talking about legacy and fighting the pound for pound best fighters, guys, that mountain is crumbling. And the mountain of just go get that money, I don't even care if the fight's fixed. Hey man, it's entertainment. Hey, that mountain is growing. And this one of legacy, the best fighting the best, it's shrinking. This is where we are. Otherwise, imagine this, right? If Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Hearns, Duran, and I throw Wilfredo Benitez in there as well, even though a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't, but do you think that without them fighting each other, they'd be talked about as much, or their legacies would be as strong as they is? You can't take nothing away from any of them for what they have accomplished, but without each other, it's not the same. You understand what I'm saying? Imagine Ali and Frazier never fought. Ali and Foreman never fought. Ali and Norton never fought. Ali never fought Sonny Liston. Just I'm saying the list is huge. But just imagine. So with all that talent and ability, what brings that out to the forefront and what caps it off with people, hey, that person, he's that way. We have a reason to go want to see this person fight. We have a reason to go buy that pay-per-view. I'm interested in seeing that. It's because not just how you fight, but who you fight. You understand? And these fighters are getting attitudes with other fighters because they want to fight them. You're not on my level. Neither was that bitch you fought last night. But y'all tried to make it seem like this was going to be a fight of two very highly skilled fighters. No. And let me explain this to you. Guys like Andre Ward, people like Layla Ali, anybody that's employed, that's, hey, because of Jake Paul, we're here as commentators, they're not going to tell you the fucking truth. They're going to make excuses for what you see happening. Because you want to know what people are not understanding? If you're working as a commentator under MVP, if you're working as a referee, as a host, Jake Paul is your fucking boss. So they're not going to say what they really should say. Now let's jump into this main event. It's really simple. All I'm hearing is, shout out to Jake Paul, has incredible heart. Yo, Jake Paul went in there and did what he had to do. You know, he implemented the game plan. You know, incredible heart, man. You know, he probably should stay at cruiserweight though, where he doesn't have that disadvantage of size and you know, but I mean, incredible heart. I mean, what would happen was supposed to happen. You know, wait, fucking wait. We're talking about a guy who fought a 58-year-old, fresh out of having 8 blood transfusions, Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Tyrone Woodley, a bunch of MMA guys that's not boxers that was way older than him. This guy lost to Tommy fucking Fury. And we're sitting here talking about he should stick to a weight class where he doesn't have the disadvantages, as if that's not what all his fights have been set up for him to have the advantage. Do you understand that? Do you know how many people was actually picking Jake Paul to win? So even somebody like Alicia Baumgartner, who said AJ is just average, like just basic, she don't see him as one of the best fighters. She said that about him. A couple of times I've heard her say that about AJ. AJ is congratulating her opponent. Nothing negative to say. That's just who AJ is. She's there smiling and cheesing and grinning and right. Oh, Derek James comes out. He's hugging AJ and Now just think about something. Alicia Baumgartner picked Jake Paul to win. For everybody that picked Jake, ask yourself this question. Did they pick Jake because, well, that's our boss? Or they really thought AJ was trash? Because there's no way as trash as Jake Paul is that you could think AJ's a good fighter if you think he can't beat Jake Paul. Then you had people playing neutral. It's funny how people had the nerve to say, oh, Caroline Dubois only picked Jake Paul or AJ because they're both from the UK. Okay, so wait. Now give me the reasons why they picked Jake Paul without making yourself sound fucking stupid. If that would have been any other fighter in the ring with AJ last night, they would have said, this guy's doing nothing but running. This guy, if that's not their boss, he's doing nothing but running. His only game plan was to not get hit, survive as long as he could, and hope AJ gets tired chasing him around. But AJ showed him, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to just run and just wing a bunch of shots, just throw relentlessly. No, I'm going to keep my hands in front of me. That's why AJ kept doing this, right? He's not throwing jabs at that point. He's letting him know, yeah, motherfucker, you see how close you got to come in and get to me? And all you're doing is running, right? And he's not giving him the opportunity to just jump in and try to catch him because Jake is faster because he's a lot smaller. But he's doing this. Now, I'm telling my sons early, I said, AJ should stop jabbing for his head right now. Jab right here in the chest. And let me tell you why. Jake Paul is doing this kind of shit. His head's way down. He's turning his fucking head. His arm is way up here. And he pulls backwards to try to take himself away. I said when he does that, AJ should hit that motherfucker right in his hip. Bam! Launch that fucking right to his fucking hip. Trust me, that shit's going to start to hurt. And he's not going to want to get hit there. And he's going to not know what else to do. And when he does it, he's not going to be fast enough to get away. All right? Yeah, he should hit right in that fucking hip. But why he should throw that fucking jab to the chest is because, especially when he goes back to the ropes. I said, because when he goes to the ropes, he's doing this and sticking his tongue out and all this shit. When AJ throws that jab, as soon as he see AJ flinch, he know the jab is coming. He's going down. He's ducking, right? That shit's going to hit him and pin him, and he can come right over the top. Bam! And isn't that what he knocked him the fuck out with? And let's not be stupid, man. AJ wasn't putting everything on them shots. My sons can see it. Everybody can see that shit. AJ wasn't putting everything on them shots. He didn't really want to hurt Jake Paul, which is exactly what I thought AJ would do. Go in there and play Mr. Nice Guy. I'm gonna tell you why now. The word is he broke Jake Paul's jaw. Good. He should have broke both sides of his fucking jaw. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I don't respect that kind of shit. Now, I'm not going to bash AJ for taking the fight, because for that $70 million or whatever it was he made, shit, I would have took that shit too, but I wouldn't have went there and played with Jake ass. See, here's the thing what I'm saying. Now, AJ was coming at him, but you got to understand, you can't criticize the fact it went 6 rounds because Jake never tried to fight. Jake ran the entire night. And them little times where he throw something quick in and try to right or whatever, and he hit AJ with a straight uppercut. AJ ate that shit. I told y'all, Jake Paul doesn't have heavyweight power. He thought Anthony Joshua was washed up. That's why he chose AJ. And I'm going to show you how much of a pussy, soft bitch he is. I don't give a fuck about that. He showed incredible. No, he didn't show shit. Except that he loves the Roadrunner. You think Anthony Joshua is washed up, yet you fought him by running? So when Turki Al-Sheikh said, no more Tom and Jerry, they want to really fight, no more Tom and Jerry. Well, what do you categorize that shit that Jake Paul showed you last night? Was that sticking and moving boxing, Muhammad Ali reeling it, Ray Robinson type shit, Terry Norris type shit, huh? Or was that some fucking running for your life? And you say he showed incredible heart because he got there and ran? I also said to my son, he's going to get tired. He's doing too much unnecessary movement. He's just running. He's not even, this isn't boxing, this is running. He's going to get tired. And that's when AJ is probably going to be able to catch up to him. Because what I thought AJ should have been doing when he was doing this, see, you got to remember, it's easy to say this shit watching, but when you're in it, see, I know it's harder to knock somebody out that's not engaging. If he tried to engage and fight AJ, he's knocked out first round. First round. This was his game plan, to pull this, I made it to the final bell, I didn't get knocked out, it's a moral victory, former two-time unified champion. Right, see, this is what they do. Notice in the video package, Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson, right? Yeah, exactly what I told y'all. For all these bullshit wins that he got. Notice how they never mentioned the Tommy Fury loss, right? But they're going to talk about who he beat. You're going to hear how great Anderson Silva was in MMA. You're going to hear how good Tyrone Woodley was at one point, and this person and that person, and what's the other, Diego, whatever the fuck, one of them two brothers and shit. But all these people and what they were, what Mike Tyson was to the sport. But you know what the record book doesn't say? It shows you the name and who they won against, but it doesn't explain. This man was 58 years old, and I can see if he was a 58, fresh 58. Is there such thing? This is a 58-year-old man that's been washed up since he was 38. You understand what I'm saying? And this motherfucker goes in there and couldn't even knock out Mike Tyson. But he won. And that's all that people are going to see is he beat Mike Tyson. He goes in there last night just to survive. And people are going, well, that's all he could do. Then why take the fucking fight? The referee was paid off as far as I'm concerned. You tell me in any other fight that referee would have said, hey, point deduction, point deduction, point deduction, point deduction. Why? Look, man, you got to engage. You're not fighting, you're just running. How many times did this man run, grab AJ, fall to his fucking knees, and hug his legs? How many countless times? Not 1 point deduction. And the funny thing was, there was one time where he was falling, he pulled AJ, and AJ like came down on top of him. The referee pulled both of them close and going, look, man, you know, the fans didn't pay for this crap. Why the fuck did you bring AJ over there? He's not running. AJ's trying to make the fight. The one running was Jake Paul. Not one fucking warning. And then after this shit, this motherfucker actually gives Jake Paul a chance to rest. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Nigga, this is the hurt business. What the fuck is the break for? There was no foul, no low blow. The fouling was Jake Paul. I told you guys, boxing as we knew it is done. This is some new bullshit era of boxing where people find all they care about is what they find entertaining. This motherfucker was more exhausted from running than anything else. I told my sons that. I said, he's going to get tired. I said, if AJ just plant that fucking jab, even when he's doing this, just stick that shit down to the chest. Because like I said, especially when he gets by the ropes, because he's going to do this, and he's not going to be able to slide. So he's going to wind up doing this kind of shit. You understand? And that's exactly what happened. He threw that shit, then came up, bam! And he still didn't throw that shit with everything. He basically did what he said he wasn't going to do. Now, as far as carrying him, like I said, if I'm not saying Anthony Joshua wasn't trying to hit him and trying to get his ass out of there. I'm saying he wasn't throwing with everything. He was not trying to really punish that motherfucker, man. He got frustrated like twice. Because AJ, he kept falling, grabbed his legs, and AJ was hitting him in the side. It was more like, man, get the fuck up and fight, man. What the fuck are you doing? It was one of those frustration type of things. But other than that, nah, man, come on. This dude ran in hell, fall to his knee. One time, even particularly had a fucked up ankle or what. I mean, I'm like, this dude is such a pussy. But no, these little bitch-made motherfuckers. See, here's my thing. You can't sit here on your own platform and talk real boxing and talk about what pisses you off when real fighters don't get credit, and how people try to discredit black fighters, or that people want to do this and that. But then you're a part of a promotion at a time where you're going to sit here and make excuses. Let's say that was Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis. Shakur is known to be a mover, right? Let's say Shakur was doing the exact same thing, or Devin Haney was doing the same exact thing. Remember how y'all was talking shit? Oh, Devin Haney just ran. No, he moved a lot, and he didn't throw as many punches as people would have liked to have seen him throw. I'm talking about fight before last. First fight since the, fight with the old racist cheater. But oh, all he did was ran. And this is when Turkey Al-Sheikh started that bullshit talking about no more Tom and Jerry shit, right? But I'm just saying, for everybody that agree with that bullshit, and I don't call it running when you're sticking and moving in boxing. It's ways to do that. That shit that Jake Paul did last night was running. If that would have been Devin Haney or fucking Shakur, Andre Ward, whoever the fuck was commentator, been saying, nah, man, come on, you got to do better than this. And I don't want to hear, yeah, but it's different. There's seasoned fighters. So fucking what? He was a seasoned fighter when he fought the guy before last, Devin Haney, right? And when Shakur went in and fought a guy, what's the guy named, the Spanish guy? And everybody, all he did was run. He didn't, right? No. They threw a whole lot more punches than Jake did. And the fact of the matter, listen to what Jake said. He don't think AJ can take a punch. What was you going to do? Run so fast that the wind from your fucking feet was going to clip his chin and knock him out? What? I mean, listen to everything Jake Paul said. Remember what I said in the previous video that I just dropped? And I said, what makes me really sick to my stomach looking at Jake Paul is he's sitting there talking like he's the seasoned veteran fighter, and AJ, like he's giving AJ a shot. Like AJ's up and coming or something. Like he's some novice dude. He's sitting all his talking. Now, did his words add up to his actions in that ring? Now, if somebody goes, yeah, but what is he supposed to say? He's supposed to fucking say what's real and not be an asshole. That's what he's supposed to do. Because if he simply would have said, listen, man, I picked AJ because AJ is a great fighter and I really want to test myself. And I know nobody would expect me to fight AJ. Of all people, not especially somebody this big and strong and this accomplished. But I do want to make my mark in this sport. And even though I said cruiserweight, hell, man, why not jump straight up to heavyweight? Roy Jones did it. Chris Bird did it. And I'm not those guys. You know what? But I got the heart to go in there and put my skills to test and see what I can do. How about that? No, this motherfucker, he's chinny. He can't take a punch. I don't think he's the same guy. Okay, and you still ran all night long. So a guy that you, on your own admission, said is washed up, you ran from him. And people are talking about, Jake got some big balls. Oh, man, incredible heart. Man, all of y'all, shut y'all bitch asses up. Every one of y'all. It doesn't take incredible heart to fucking run. The fuck kind of heart that just because you got there and ran? If he was in there competing against a track star, and he's not a track star, then I can see you saying he showed incredible heart to go in there and run against this person. This is a boxing match, and this motherfucker ran all night long. Literally ran. Got his jaw broke, and AJ wasn't putting no real mustard on those punches, man. But he know being a heavyweight, he's going to get the shot. When he gets the shot there, Jake is not going to be able to take it. And like I said, he doesn't have power. I told you, unless this is a fix, right? If this is a real fight, he has no business in there with AJ. And the fact of the matter is, for him to be in there with AJ, for anybody that says Jake did exactly what I thought he was going to do, you mean to tell me you took the time to watch this fight, have a watch party, invite family over, and y'all watch this fight like you was going to watch something special just for a motherfucker to run? Because that's what you're saying. If he did what you thought he was going to do, what you expect him to do was, I knew he was going to go in and just run. Well, I just wanted to see how long he was going to last before he got tired and then got knocked out, because that's what happened. Did you see his trainer say this time they had Jake Paul do nothing but practice footwork? Did you see footwork or running? You guys do understand, right? This is the new era of boxing. When AJ says things like, only thing I do different, I just pray more. I pray more. I pray, I train, and I can do my best. That's all you can do is your best. I agree with all you can do is your best. You can pray all you want. You've been knocked out before, you done been beat before, and you prayed and all that. Okay, well, yeah, your prayer didn't fucking work, did it? Then don't try to resort to, yeah, but hey, it could have been worse. Could have got brain damage. Could have, whatever. Yeah, bottom line, I agree. You can only do your best. But because Anthony Joshua says things like that, it's hard for people to feel like they don't see him as, I'm gonna go in there and crush this person. They feel like AJ have soft spots. Like he's gonna go in there and he's gonna crumble as soon as somebody put real pressure on him and things like that. Trashy ass Jake Paul. I saw the video of Tyson Fury running his mouth because Anthony Joshua said, if I can kill you, I'll kill you, or whatever, type of thing. And he explained it later, expounded on it, what he really meant when he said that, whatever. And Tyson Fury, when I see Tyson Fury, when you see AJ, you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're a fat, bald-headed, hairy, lying bitch yourself, and pretty much you're not gonna do nothing. If this is a fight that's going to actually happen, this is a fight that they can catapult from this fight and use this to build momentum to a fight that never happened, that should have happened a long time ago. It will be more of a UK-based thing. And okay, it'll be AJ versus Tyson Fury if Tyson Fury really wants the fucking fight. It's not about shit talking. Shit talking doesn't win fights. I told you this. I don't care for the shit talking. I only care about seeing a good fight. Two fighters go in there and do just what AJ said. Go in there and just give your best. That's all. I'm not in there with these expectations. I don't expect somebody with no punching power. I don't expect Paulie Malignaggi to go in there and get a first round knockout against somebody with a strong chin. Paulie can't punch. I don't expect the motherfucking slow as molasses to go in there and all of a sudden show incredible hand speed. No, what you're capable of doing, just go and leave it in the ring. That's all. That's what you get paid for. And the thing with Jake Paul is, do you know how many real fighters are out there that can't get the kind of money he get or generate that kind of money because they're not a draw, but they're real fighters. This is the craft that they dedicated their life to. Here's a motherfucker that come in, I find out how to make a quick cash grabs and fight a bunch of old washed up guys, and he gets applauded for that shit. Hell, way before Jake Paul, you had a guy named Kimbo Slice, a guy named Butterbean before him, who was winning tough man competitions. And he had the heart to go in there and fight whoever. But you know what? Butterbean never said, I'm the greatest fighter in the world. I'm better than half these fighters that's in the pro ranks. You know what? Kimbo Slice never said the same thing. You know what they did? They went in there and they did what they knew how to do. And hey, man, you win, you lose. It's as simple as that. Now, you can say in terms of marketing and how to put yourself out there, yeah, okay, Jake did what he was allowed to do. But what did he prove? Like, what did he earn? This motherfucker beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and was ranked number fucking 15. But he ends up in the ring with Anthony Joshua. We just had Fabio Wardley defeat Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, who's been overlooked and pushed aside. Oh, he's boring. Nobody gives a fuck about that guy. Right? And what did he say? If he beats Fabio, he gets Usyk. Okay, he didn't beat Fabio. Fabio beat him. But then again, there's no Usyk versus Fabio. We're hearing Usyk versus Wilder. All right, hold up. This is what happened when Joseph Parker beat Wilder. Instead of Joseph Parker in a rematch with AJ, they stuck who in there? A fucking MMA fighter. And that was able to get these guys paid $50 million a piece. Or I know what AJ got 50. I don't know what the fuck they paid, but they gave Francis Ngannou 50 or 20, whatever it was. But it was supposed to be 50 for Wilder and 50 for, AJ if they fought. But no, Wilder loses, and what do? They try to bring him back. Remember that? was offering him Lawrence Okolie at Bridgerweight. And then what happens? Joseph Parker goes in there and he beats Zhang Zhang. He still gets overlooked. He still gets overlooked. So you tell me, when you see these moves happening, all Aries do is pay attention to how this fucking monopoly is being run. That's all I do, and use my common sense. I don't tell myself something's different or cross my fingers. No, I look at reality, bro. That's all I do. I take them fucking infinity stones and I understand what each one is used for. That's what the fuck I do. While y'all sitting here trying to play catch up and pray and hope and wish for the best. No, that's all I do. It's called common sense. So the circus, the clown went down in the 6th round. I didn't see him being able to stand up to AJ punches. Now, punches that don't land clean, yeah, you can get hit, get your head snapped back and still stay up. But he doesn't have heavyweight power himself. He doesn't have the style to fight as a heavyweight. In fact, let me tell you something, man. Look, Jake Paul is a shit fighter. He's a runner. That's all he is. And even to fight somebody his weight. Here's the thing. Now that you fought AJ, right? You thought AJ was washed up and you realize whatever stage that AJ's in right now, he's still better than you and would have knocked you out in round 1 if you'd have fought back. Fight Jai Opetaia. Yeah, you want to go to cruiserweight? Fight an actual ranked cruiserweight. Don't go fight somebody ranked 500 in the world that's been knocked out 38 times or something. No, fight meaningful fights. So all that massive respect for Jake Paul, he showed heart. What the fuck heart did he show by running and sticking his tongue out and thinking this guy washed up, but for some reason I'm still scared to fight back? You guys are full of shit. And you guys know that Jake Paul is involved with big money, and you feel like you don't want to say something to offend him because, hey, he might find something to do with you later on, and you can make a nice paycheck, working for him, whatever the situation may be. I don't want to burn bridges. That's all you hearing, man. You can't fucking tell me, like I said, if any other fucking fighter, y'all was crucifying. Look, y'all was crucifying Devin Haney, right? But even Devin Haney threw more punches than Canelo did against that last guy that went there and ran against him. You understand what I mean? You guys was crucifying fighters, but all of a sudden, because it's Jake Paul, let's make excuses. See, this is why you got to really hurt somebody like Jake Paul. He got his jaw broke great. He need to leave there with broken ribs, broken jaw, orbital bone fucked up. You want to know why? So he understand you don't play boxing. You either a fighter or you're not. And you took the easy route and making multi-millions of dollars. You come out with your racist Hulkamania shit on. Fuck you and Hulk Hogan, but you come out with that Hulkamania bullshit. The motherfucker was so fucking nervous. He's there hollering his shit at the post conference and said when the ring bell. He meant to say when the bell rings. He goes all the and I couldn't even watch that goofy shit. I'm just sitting here like, wow, look at this goofball. You see. You don't see people jumping in MMA, do you? Oh, I'm a YouTuber and I don't have much fights, but I want to fight motherfucking John Jones. Yeah, I want. No. They think boxing is a joke. They make a mockery of it, and that guy sat there when that what's his name, Ariel Helwani or whoever the fuck it was. I think that was the Cameron interview, and Cameron asked him how does he feel when he's called it, because AJ said, I'm not a YouTuber, right? What did he say when Cameron asked him, how does that make you feel when you hear people say that? He said, well, YouTubers make more than boxers do, so it doesn't bother me. I love it. Right. I don't care about boxing. Right? I don't care about boxing. I just know I'm making money off it because I'm in here fighting guys way past their prime. And the boxing public is too fucking stupid to acknowledge that as a whole. So you have my fans that split. I told you, he's not bringing more eyes to the sport. If he was bringing more eyes to the sport, then MVP Productions, promotions, whatever they call their fucking selves, would be able to have a packed house from first fight to the last fight. No, it's still the same format. We're only going to come in during the main event, or the co-main event, or the fight before the co-main. We're going to start pouring in. Or when they start telling us, all right, guys, you got to start going in the building now. Other than that, no. Isn't it funny, though, when they have that Misfits boxing? The building is at full capacity from the first fight to the last. Why? But why, when so-called real boxing is going on, no, the building's still half empty? Why? See, don't let people fool you with their words. Oh, they bring more eyes to the sport. They're doing this. Nah, no, stop it. Stop it. You know what I found funny? Now, Alicia Baumgartner did her thing, but Layla Ali made it sound like Alicia went in there and did like, she won, basically. That's what matters. And she dominated. Yes, she did. But she had nothing to say about what Alicia could have done and what she should have done different. So that means you shouldn't say anything about anybody else in the same exact situation. You want to know why? Because not only is it favoritism, but we know there's bitterness and there's a lot of bias there. Because let's be real. Alicia Baumgartner hit this chick one round, and you could see like it kind of wobbled her. Alicia never turned up one time and said, okay, now I'm going to stop playing with my food and actually eat it. And she just take her time. She's coming there and she, right? Just letting her off the hook. This is a pattern. This is what she does. That chick hit Alicia, I think around 11. And you see Alicia's leg, but she couldn't finish her. Okay? Alicia said she wasn't hurt. Okay, cool, whatever. But bottom line is, and I'm not saying, see, I'm not the type of person, it's not about looking for criticism, but it's about, let's be real about what we saw. Because if you see somebody else do a better job than Alicia did, but she should have been doing more of this, and she should have, right? Because this is what people do. Again, let's not criticize. You notice the commentary is different when it comes to anything MVP. The commentators aren't as bold and as blunt. They make excuses for what they see it happening in the ring. Notice that. Go watch any other fight from any other promotion, current, past, and listen how raw and how blunt commentators would say, this guy, fighter should be doing this and should be doing that. This fight. So this is my point. So even that is not Jake Paul himself in the ring. Just the fact it's on a Jake Paul card. Let's make excuses for the fucking fighter. For all of them. Let's not say, let's not call it like it is. Let's make excuses for them and play neutral. But we'll still show favoritism to the one we want to win. Or the one we know Jake wants to win. We know who the favorite is. And how many people were sitting here saying they think Jake Paul was going to knock AJ out. They think he was going to pull the win off. Jake Paul must know something we don't know. I'm listening to Derek Chisora and all these fucking people say the stupidest shit, and I'm just like, you motherfuckers just don't. Y'all really don't understand shit. Jake Paul knows something. Jake Paul, listen to Aries. Jake Paul is fucking trash. I don't care what AJ says. I don't care what anybody else say. I know what my two fucking eyes see. And this trashy ass generation of fighters, you want to suck him off and put him in a position he's not in. Jake Paul is trash. And when he decides to sit down and fight back against quality opponents, he's going to get knocked out every time, and you're going to see he's trash. He's giving you guys the illusion of being better than what he is because, oh, look at what he's done for women's boxing, and look at now his accomplishments makes up for the fact he's trash from bell to bell. He's garbage. He'd have been knocked out in the first round had he fought back, and you fools would have said, well, that's what's supposed to happen. But he's the one who wanted the fight because he thought he was going to get a fighter so past his prime, he thought sitting back watching, I can beat this guy. And from round one, he did nothing but fucking run. And I'm hearing people talking about he showed incredible heart. Man, go fuck yourselves. That dude is garbage. Plain and simple. And all that sticking his tongue out and shaking his head. No, so what? That's not what win you rounds. Maybe in this motherfucking generation, maybe one day we'll hear a commentator say, "Oh my God, he stuck his tongue out and shook his head. He just won this round. That won him this round. Oh my God, he slapped the side of his shoes. That's 2 rounds to nothing." Yeah, maybe in this goofy ass generation. I can't bash AJ's performance. I can say what he could have did or whatever. No, AJ is a much bigger guy, much heavier, and AJ was never like a guy that had crazy footwork and really, you know what I mean? He's always been a boxer puncher. The young AJ was a problem. This AJ is iffy. We don't know where AJ is going to show up, but AJ did what he could do against a guy that didn't come to fight. All he tried to do was survive. There are things he could have done, you know, to trap him on them ropes and to get him to try to engage more, but cutting him off. And, you know, AJ didn't want to get hit with unnecessary shots, even though the shots he landed didn't hurt him at all. Is the fact, why am I getting hit with these shots? Then it makes AJ look bad. Like if Jake is able to hit me with these shots. So I understood what AJ was doing. Okay, bottom line, Jake didn't come to fight. He did not come to fight. And basically, if he can headline the next card where they'll try to sit there and he showed incredible heart, they'll show video packages of different fighters giving him massive credit and try to do everything to try to redeem himself, that he can go in there and make have another big fight and headline and make multi-millions of dollars. That's what because that's all this shit is about. This generation is about money, 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 money. AJ told y'all, I don't care about legacy. I'm you know, you can only do your best, and it's a fight-by-fight basis. And yeah, like the commentator, like the interviewer asked him after the fight, you know, like, they love you today, they hate you tomorrow, or whatever. And he said, you know, but he goes, that's not true. Like, she said that's not true as far as they hate you tomorrow. But yeah, that's just the way shit goes. They'll cheer you right now, they'll boo you later, but they'll take a fighter who hasn't accomplished shit or took the back door, you know, snuck in the back door to get away, you know, to get to where they are, fought lesser opponents their entire career and find a way to try to make them sound great. Fighters that don't even deserve title shots are getting title shots. How does Fabio Wardley win but don't get a title shot with Usyk? How the fuck does fighters win their mandatory fights and don't have to fight the winner of the other mandatory? Oh, you're overpricing yourself. How does all this shit even come into play? All of these things, all this corruption has shaped and formed boxing to what it is right now. And this is why you see shit like this. And this is why people say, we can't put solid cards on the States. Who's going to pay these people, right? Because everybody want more than what they're worth. So this is the new generation of boxing. That's what you got last night. Another circus fight. But again, AJ did what he had to do against a guy that did nothing but run, barely throw punches, and pretty much put himself in a position where he's making all this money that a Shakur Stevenson can't get, that a Tank Davis can't get, that a Terrence Crawford can't get, that a Usyk can't get. Yeah, that's what he did, and that's what he's been doing. And pretty much, when you look at where he is, and I don't care about all that outside shit he's doing for women's boxing. I know, bell to bell, he hasn't earned shit. When is the last time Julio Cesar Jr. fought before he fought Jake Paul? And who the fuck has he beat that earns Jake Paul a number 15 spot in boxing? Yet a guy like Jao Pataya can't get an opportunity because why? Well, he's not a big enough demand where they can put him in the ring with Usyk, but he's a real fighter. They're knocking motherfuckers out. But here, a guy like Jake Paul can do what he does. Okay, you think Jake Paul can fight Jao can fight Moses Achoma, because I think they have the same amount of fights now, right? Yeah. What? So you understand what I'm saying? They're in their 20s. Why not fight him? Because you know he'll get knocked the fuck out. The same way he got knocked out last night by AJ. You see, he doesn't want to fight anybody his age. He don't want to fight anybody that he knows a real threat. But here's what I think happened. He thought all this shit about AJ watching him, and he talking about it's going to look like this fight's going to look like him versus Usyk. Really? You put yourself in the same category as Usyk? Do you understand what I'm saying? How this big mouth prick runs his mouth, categorizing himself in position that he's not in? You ever saw Usyk fight anybody like that? I mean, he moved a lot against Derek Chisora, but he fought. But he put himself in the same category as fucking Usyk. And what happened? He got face to face with AJ. He saw the size and height difference. He started feeling real different. He didn't really feel comfortable, so he had to face off joking and smiling and making stupid faces and doing all types of little goofy childish shit. He got in the ring, so all that hollering and screaming, he was really scared. I mean, he was scared. He was nervous. He was trying to amp himself up. He got in the ring, and once again, he's in the ring with a guy that he claims is washed up, not himself. Don't have a good chin, can't take a punch. But his game plan was to just run. And I'm supposed to sit here and say he showed tremendous heart. Because he showed up and ran. Y'all can go fuck yourselves with that. This is your new era of boxing. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.